So I'd like to welcome all of you to the soapbox of General Secretary Technical Affairs. We have Prathamesh Simpi as the GSTA candidate on our right hand side, and on our left hand side we have Piyush Porwal as the first panelist who is currently the projects and tech team nominee. We have Subham Agarwal who is the second panelist who is also ex-manager of ERC. We have Gagan who is currently the racing PM and who is our third panelist. We have Nitish who is currently admin head in Institute Technical Council and who is our fourth panelist. And we have our fifth and the last panelist as Anmol Gupta who is the ex-UG nominee. I am Aniket Agarwal, General Secretary Technical Affairs, and I will be moderating this soapbox. So let me just go through the rules of the soapbox and then we'll start ahead. So there are 5 parts in the soapbox, actually 6. So the first part is the opening statement, which will go for a maximum of 3 minutes. Then the second part is the manifesto debate, wherein panelists will ask a maximum of 9 questions from the candidate, and in each question they can ask up to maximum of 5 rebuttals. Each question can go from 5 to 7 minutes, and these questions are already been approved by me before the soapbox. Then the third part is the topic debate, for which candidate have already been given the 4 topics, and out of which 2 will be picked and questions will be asked. On that, candidate can put up his views for 2 to 3 minutes, and then panelist can speak 1 minute for each of the questions, and there are 3 questions in each topic. Then the fourth part is the background check, wherein I'll basically give 2 questions to him, which will be totally related to his background work experience, and he will have 2 minutes to answer those questions, and this will go till 5 minutes. Then there is a Q&A section where Insight will ask 4 questions, which will go till a max of 5 minutes, and then there will be audience question where each audience can ask questions. This section will go till 20-25 minutes, and each question should end within 3 minutes. Then the last part is the closing statement, where the candidate will have 2 minutes to give his closing statement. So with this, I'd like to start the soap. All the best to the candidate, and let's start with the opening statement.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming here. Myself Prathamesh Simpi. I am a 3rd year undergraduate in the Department of Energy Science and Engineering. Currently I am serving as the Institute Energy Secretary. To cater the technical needs of 13,000 plus students and to enhance the tech culture of the institute, I am contesting for the post of General Secretary Technical Affairs. I envision creating an all-inclusive environment that fosters the spirit of tinkering and encouraging innovation. I want to create an environment where tech is easily accessible and the students are able to access the resources and the opportunities where they can do the tech activities that can benefit the institute. In my 2nd year, I explored the tech culture of the institute by serving as the web secretary of Hostel 5. My interest about my core field of energy held me and motivated me to serve more for the interdisciplinary domain of energy and made me serve as the Institute Energy Secretary. During my tenure of Institute Energy Secretary, I became the Secretary of Energy Club. During my tenure, I conducted many events which were not restricted to only some domains, but catering many domains like EV, sustainability, blockchain, climate change, and many more, and not restricted to my club, but also served to core ITC by youth chunk, by participating in events like Tech R&D Expo and many more initiatives. As a core team member of Inter-IIT 11.0, I gained valuable insights about the management and operations of Inter-IIT and the confidence I needed to formulate initiatives that would serve the Technical Council of IIT Bombay in the future. I have seen the glory of the tech. I have seen the tech of the institute as a student as well as the institute council member. I have seen the glory of the tech as well as the grievances of the student. I am passionate about continuing my work in tech, and I am determined to make a positive impact and contribute to the growth and advancement of tech in our institute. I envision regenerating the technical sparks in our life, the spark which once lit the IIT Bombay's tech culture, and bringing new modern and technological innovations inside our labs and clubs. Thank you.
So I'd just clarify a single point. He's not currently the Institute Energy Secretary. That was removed. Basically, that position you left when you nominated for the position. Yeah. So now we'll move to the second part of the show. That is the manifesto debate. Now here I'd like to call panelists to ask 9 questions, and starting with the first one. So okay, we'll start.
Hello. Yeah. So my first question to you is regarding WISE. So the work for this actually started 10 years back. So can you tell why did it fail 3 times and what exactly would you do different this time so that this would succeed?
Okay, sure. So I have already read about this. About 3 years back, the initiative has been started. The formulation and the vision and what the things they have to do has been mentioned. Everything has been formalized. But the thing was mentioned in the official docs of the documentation that they were going to start the initiative on Women's Day on 8th March. But till that time, the tenure was ended and they have passed on the thing to the next council, and the thing was not able to be completed in the further tenures. This is why the initiative was not completed during this tenure. So I wanted to take up this initiative because it is one of the best initiative, because IIT Bombay is providing opportunities and trying to get involvement of more and more female candidates in the institute. But we need to cater to their technical needs by providing them special mentorships and other resources so that they can move and see the unexplored domains of science and technology, and the fear they have regarding the domain has to be.
Yeah, just I'll request you to stick to the question and don't elongate it. Otherwise, we'll have to elongate the section.
So what exactly are you revamping here from the past 10 years?
So basically, what we are trying to revamp is that in the last 10 years, the things were formulated and they were trying to conduct sessions by women speakers, and also they're trying to provide the resources, like there are many scholarship opportunities and even there are many internships.
Sorry to interrupt you, but kindly focus on the point. What different will you do? What different are you planning to do? Like focus on that only.
Yeah, so basically what different I'm planning to do is trying to promote women culture by having sessions by renowned industrialists and renowned speakers and influencers in women in the field of science and technology by women, and also provide mentorship to women in our institute by providing their tech mentors. Like what we have an initiative about tech mentors, so every girl should have a tech mentor which should serve for them.
I have a rebuttal. So basically you say that you are going to provide tech mentors to women students. So are they also, that mentors, are they also going to be women? If yes, do you feel that you have enough technical expertise among the women students to be able to cater to entire women ITB community?
So I am not stating like that only female mentors should be assigned to the candidates, to the women, female residents of IIT Bombay, but they should given a personalized mentorship about the opportunities provided to them. That's what I'm not saying that only a girl can be.
Can you give us some example of opportunities that you are talking about?
So basically I have stated about many internships are only made available for women. Even many scholarship programs are run where scholarships are specially provided for the women in India. So we need to provide with them with the opportunities there, and like about also we should have an influencer sessions by them.
I'd again ask you to go quickly over the questions that has been asked and don't waste time.
Like I have stated.
Can you talk some numbers here? So like you are talking about like you want to increase the participation and everything. So what is the current participation numbers and what do you see like what do you want to increase it to?
So currently, with the very basic thing about the GC culture, so what the female participation we get in GCs is very low. The female, the hostel tech culture.
Sorry to interrupt you again, but low or high and some. So we want specific names, specific numbers. That would be great.
So back when this initiative was stated, a survey was conducted, and according to that, only 56. There are around 56% of the female candidates who were surveyed here were not aware about the opportunities and were not aware about the actual opportunities available for them in the institute. And this is the figure which you want to write.
Is there any further rebuttal? So we'll move to the next question now.
My next question is on inter-IIT. You propose to conduct inter-IIT competition and boot camps. So I have 3 specific questions. You can note down and answer each one of them one by one. So my first question is on the timeline of intra-IIT competition. I repeat, my first question is on the timeline of intra-IIT.
Can you remove your phones from there? So.
Sorry for the disturbance. So my first question is about the timeline of inter-IIT competition. The second question is who will take the boot camps, and to be specific, what has been the problem in the boot camps which has been conducted in the past ITC tenures. My third question is comment on how do you intend to bring gold home. I mean, like it has been, we have been trying for inter-IIT since past 11 years and we have not been able to bring gold home till now. So what exactly are you gonna do for that? Is inter-IIT competition sufficient for doing that?
Okay, so basically, according to the timeline I have predicted, so I propose to do the intra-IIT competitions during the month of September and October. Because if we see the timeline that if intra-IIT is conducted on time in December, so the high-prep problem statement will be released by the end of October. So we are proposing that the boot camp should be conducted during September and October, be it weekly about the different domains. So the boot camp will spread over the 2 months on weekends, and in that so the boot camps will be conducted in that time period, and after the boot camp the problem statements related to previous year competitions will be released, and we are releasing only segmented problem statements. We are not releasing the complete problem statement. So we are expecting the participants to provide the solution by they will be given a specific time interval of 1 week or 2 weeks to iterate upon them and basically do it in the similar structure which has been proposed in inter-IIT, like from ideation till the presentation skills, the presentation they are making, and that has to be made during that time. And majorly my focus about the inter-IIT competitions is the low prep or the mid prep segments of the inter-IIT, not the high prep statement, because that cannot be released for the in the short interval. Regarding who will be conducting the boot camp, so there are students who have been already participating in this inter-IIT competition. There are quite a good number of seniors and PhD students who are proficient in the domains which are usually the domains which are every year the problem statement comes on this domain. So there are quite number of PG students and even the UG students who are quite proficient about the domain. Now commenting about how can we bring about the goal. So what I propose is that what I have seen is every year, every time when we are trying to get a database, or even when a PS is released, we are trying to find the best people regarding the domain. So we are trying to get over and look over about the people to whom we are already knowing. Like, we are not trying to find the only best person who can be a capable inter-IT contingent member. We are trying to find the people of that domain by getting to know that the person has done internships or even done...
Sorry to interrupt you, but in Inter-IT 10.2 and 9.2, there has been like forms which have been floated in which we had already taken the entire database. Still in Inter-IT 11.2, we could not make use of that to the utmost.
So yeah, the same thing, like when the low pre problem statements are released and when we get a very short time, so at that time we are not just looking over the database of the previous years, we are trying to find the people who are recently gone through this domain.
Do you feel that seniors, 40s and 30s will be competing in your intra-IIT competition?
So basically, what I propose in intra-IIT competition is not the only 40s should compete. Basically, trying to build up a culture where even second year students and even third year students who are...
Okay, my last question would be, you said that in intra-IIT competition you want to go from ideation, implementation all the way to PPT. Also, you wanted to do it in September, October month. So I believe that around that time ITC is already busy with RC Plane and other competitions. So who, along with Tech R&D, so who are the managers who are going to be handling this weekly? You mentioned weekly different domain, and the problem statements involve ideation, implementation and PPT. So a lot of work. So can you justify the workload?
Basically, the events like RC Planes and Accelerate are done for freshies, right? And intra-IIT competitions are not meant only for them. And
sorry, but I did not intend this question in terms of audience, in terms of the workload of the ITC man.
When I was discussing with the current CLs of this year, so they have already mentioned that next year the contingent leader selection should be done early, and they will be the ones who will be looking over this by trying to find out people who are specific to this domain. They can be club seniors of different domains, and they will be conducting this workshop. So it's not compulsory that only the club managers will be involved in this session, but also the contingent leaders and the seniors who are trying to conduct these sessions will be involved in this.
My last rebuttal is, if you intend to nominate contingent leaders 4 to 6 months before inter-IT, what if the contingent leader you have nominated has an immediate commitment around the time of inter-IT? Because when we select them 1 or 2 months priori, they know the commitment of 2 months, but it is very difficult to judge the commitment and workload of your next semester in the semester before. So how will you work around that?
Hello. Okay, so basically while the contingent selection is being done, so we will be knowing that we will be already stating that the main work which they have to be done is going to be in the month of November and December. So the person who is applying, we will be trying to see like what all his commitments are during this wait, be it his placements or be it any other work. So we will be doing the
sorry, but I meant that inter-IT as of the past few years has been happening in the month of Feb and all. So how are you going to judge the commitment of the next semester in the semester before?
Okay, so the very first tech meet, where all the IITs take part, so that is done quite time before the inter-IT is held, and that time approximate time about the inter-IT is being given, right? So we will be getting to know about the approximate date for inter-IT.
Talking in terms of what has been actually happening, so we know it is proposed in December, but it happens in Feb. So I wanted you to look over that.
So, regarding that,
yeah, we'll move to the next part now. Yeah, so the third question.
So our third question is on your point technician. So every year this point come in the manifesto of the GS Tech, but in past 3 to 4 years we have seen that this particular point event is not a success. So tell us the reasons why do you think this particular initiative is not able to cater the audience that it meant to be, and what are your plans to solve those issues?
Okay, so every year what we do is after the end of ITSP, we try to launch Technovation, where we do it in 2 segments, where the person who has already an idea and who has been doing ITSP project, and the others are the one who are starting from scratch, even from the idea generation sessions. So every year we try to collaborate with different bodies, and like even the past year collaborations, the thing I got to know is that the deliverables were not quite means fairly defined about which body has to cater what needs, and the problem because of which happened is like we are just trying to do sessions about the business related things, but we are not doing a personalized mentorship to different projects who have been already done in ITSP, because I think according to me we should focus on the projects who have already been made or ideated at least, because a person who is having a technology is not having the business mind. But when I have talked with different officials about this, I got to know that even a project who has been made needs to be polished before it has to be pitched in front of any industry. So what I propose is that we should try to get involvement of DSCC in this. So I've already talked about this with the DSCC officials, and that they have already a credited framework and many courses which are been going on about the same. So according to that framework, they are trying to build up funded projects even in their credited framework. So they have already agreed upon that after the completion of ITSP project. So they have a rough projects that have been already been made. So they will try to implement this basically through Technovation, where DSCC will have personalized mentorship to different projects, and they even have industrial mentors for different domains, and they also agreed upon that according to the need of the student, they will be providing different mentors to them, and once they will having different sessions related to.
Okay, I guess we got your point.
Okay.
So my point, my rebuttal is that in 2019 to 2020 tenure, I guess, yeah, basically in Shobna Mishra's tenure when Aniruddha Ranade was the PNTT. So in that tenure also we had run Technovision, but it was a very different format from what it is now. So in there also we were promised mentorship from different sources, but we also allocated those mentors. But the problem we faced was mentors were not actually giving sufficient time to the students. So how are you ensuring the quality of mentorship when you say that it is coming from some industries, and also it is coming from some other body through industry? So there's a lot of channelization. So how are you gonna ensure the optimum mentorship to the teams? And if they do not get mentorship, what will be your plan of action?
Okay, so basically what we have discussed currently with DSSC is that when a project is being made, they are trying to give mentors who have been like already there is a credited framework, a course has been run on very similar lines, and in that framework also they are trying to give mentors to each project, even they are also even funded projects. So when a person is actually giving funding to that project, the mentor who has been allotted to him will be looking over that project because he has already invested in that project basically. So this is what we mean by personalized mentorship, and they have already been doing this from the past many years through this framework, and I want to implement this framework in Technovation as well.
So our next battle on this is if there is such program exists, then why do you want to basically conduct the Technovation? You can directly send the teams there and they can work on there itself.
To elaborate on that, basically by including ITC, you are including a third party there and if your teams do not perform well, you are basically trying to defame the name of ITC in front of those professors, as you had promised certain work output from these teams.
Okay, so the every project team which has been doing ITSP is not able to get into the courses of ENT which has been run by DSSC. So there should be another framework which should be there for the students who are, because for registering to the courses of ENT or DSSC, there is a criteria, right? And if a student or a team is very proficient in their project, but they are not able to fulfill the criteria for registering this course, there should be another framework where they are able to implement their ideas on the similar lines, right? And this will not only include the projects of ITSP, but many other projects who have been they are doing in this.
So my question was, what is the agreement going to be if ITC has promised that this team will work on this problem statement, but that team doesn't perform well? So what is the repercussions of that on ITC?
So currently, according to our discussion, like we have already decided that they will be filtering the projects on regular intervals on seeing the performance or the advantage.
And where do you keep this equipment? The location.
Okay, so the first question about the inventory which has to be bought. So for the domain of IoT, we should be buying many inventories like magnetometers, proximity sensors, gyroscopes, image sensors, light sensors, even pressure sensors. So these are some of the things which are quite necessary for a person. Even things like which has already been proposed earlier, like the things like Alexa development kits, which is both used in NLP models and also which is also used in the IoT models. Other than that, for AR VR, there should be equipments like the Oculus and even the HTC Vive Cosmos. So what I propose is that we should not buy only the equipments directly related to the system, but also the inventory which can be used for the making of such projects in this field. So basically, there are many other equipments like tracking sensors, processors, lenses, and many other equipments which can be bought for projects related to AR, VR, and also about what I said is related to high-speed computers, or even this thing should be there in the inventory, because this is one of the most emerging technology, and IIT Bombay should serve for that. Other than that, talking about the prices,
sorry, interruption. So most of the things that you stated are consumables and not equipments.
Yeah.
They are like worth $1,000 or so. So are you planning for an actual equipment?
So as I stated that some of the equipments I stated related to smart glasses and even the Oculus Quest, which are actual equipments which are used in AR VR. And other than that, I stated that there should be other, some inventory which should be there for the projects related to this thing. So this is what you wanted to know. And other than that, related to prices, so the inventory related to this is quite inexpensive. Let's suppose about the light sensors, it costs from a very
You can go directly to the place where you kept them. Place.
directly placed. Okay, so regarding the place, what I wanted to say is that there is a place like Stab Room or even TL, where equipments like this should be kept, just because people like on trial basis people should get these equipments and work upon them, even the inventory and the equipments which are made available for them. So I am not proposing a workstation directly, but there should be a survey related to this, that about the demand and need, which is actually related to this. And according to that, even what I planned is, if we see in TL, in the power section tools, there is a small space. Even there, these equipments can be kept and utilized.
So, like whatever you told, that sensors and those, so don't you think this is the work of ERC manager to buy this IoT sensors and kept this in their inventory and float these projects?
Elaborating on that, most of the things which you added are already there in TL. It's more about how are you gonna manage these things. And on addition to that, could you state in last tenure there was a purchase of Turtlebot on similar lines as you're saying that you're going to procure some equipments. How much was that Turtlebot used, and what is your plan to improve that? If you're planning to bring in more equipments, what is the status of the equipments there and its users?
Okay, so as far as I know, the Turtlebot has not been used very frequently during the whole tenure. But other than that, what I propose is that the inventory, the equipments which I stated are more or less needed in some of the projects. Even last year there was a project in ITSP which was not able to be completed just because we were not having that equipments or even resources to be provided to that team, according to which to fulfill their basic needs, right? So Turtlebot is one thing, but other than that, there are different domains, right? For everything, we should have something inventory or the equipments related to that, because even.
But sorry to interrupt again, but my point was that when you are trying to bring in new equipments and you don't even have a methodology to make use of the current equipments and how you are placing them, how you are like making sure its uses, I don't think that new equipments would survive for more than 6 months. And if that's the scene, we'll just keep losing our funds. Also, there was a proposal of IOE lab which has been done in past. So, how is that different from TechZone that you're planning? Also, yeah.
Okay, so in IOE labs there was a lab proposed.
This is the last answer.
In IOE labs there was a lab proposed for AI related things, and also the computational lab. So there the equipments which were needed were quite different from what I am proposing. According to the proposal which has been given to them, the inventory, I have gone through that inventory. So they did not include the inventory only related to AR/VR also. I do agree that they have proposed about the high-end PCs requirement in the computational lab, but some other inventories have not been included in them.
My question was more of like, how is it different from this? Our next question is that even if you are buying these equipments, which body or which club or council or what framework, under what framework will these be used? Like in the last question, we were not convinced with your answer. In similar lines, this question is going, because I have focused again and again, how will you ensure its uses? That has not been answered. I'm again asking which body, which cell or what will ensure this particular thing been used in proper manner. I also want to make a note that CDS SRG, which was a reading group started some years back, is not in its power as it should have been. So keep that in mind while commenting.
Okay, so regarding his usage and the body will be looking over this. So if the inventory is kept in TL, so it should be looked over, or at least have a check by the TL managers about when the inventory has been issued by them, and about the usage, it can be used from it can be used in different manners, starting from very small thing like ITSP. So,
sorry to interrupt, and could you please make sure that the answers are answered to the point, because I've been asking who will monitor its users.
So I just stated, right, if we are keeping the inventory in TL.
TL managers or TL technicians are not technically proficient to make sure that whoever comes is able to use this. So, yeah.
Okay, I'd request the candidate to stick to the question. Don't answer ahead or behind of that. Just stick to, let's say, who is going to manage. So just stay at TL manager and not TL will do and that on that. So now I'll move to the next. Now we'll move to the next question, which is the sixth question for the soapbox.
Yeah. So I have questions regarding the hostel tech part. So you can just there are so many sub parts. So you can just answer one by one. So what is the current status of sustainability in hostels, and what, and give an example, what would this green campus program would do?
Okay, so what the sustainability cell along with Energy Club was trying to implement was about a GC through which they were trying to implement things related to sustainability. Their idea was about there should be a program or even a GC should be run in the hostel where they will be stating a problem statement related to hostel, and they will trying to implement problem statement which will related to energy consumption in the hostel. And their idea was about measuring the energy wastage, energy consumption which is done through various sources related to water consumption or even energy consumption in terms of food or light. So regarding the sustainability, what hostels are currently promoting about the movement tracking sensors which has been already implemented in the washrooms of the hostel. But other than that, this idea has not been actually implemented in hostel common rooms which are of frequent use. Other than that, related to food wastage, they were trying to implement different ideas, but the thing has not been implemented till now.
Okay. My second question is, you have mentioned that you will add non-core GCs,
Yeah.
but they are already part of GCs every year. So what exactly are you adding here?
So basically, this year we did not have a GC which related to non-core domain related to product management or supply chain or even tech entrepreneurship. So 2 to 3
This year analytics GC happened, which is related to non-core.
Yeah. So what I propose through this is that we should even try to cater to the domains which are about the non-core problem statements which are coming in inter-IIT. So what different we say is that we should not only focus upon the current science GCs or this thing, but we should also try to focus on the non-core domains through different multiple clubs. Like if we say about the product management GC, which can be even conducted by TL, right? Through a pitching competition using the hardware they state. So on similar line, a GC was conducted 2 to 3 years back on the similar line. So
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this is not a new point, and there is nothing to add here actually now. So my next question is regarding the hostel case GC. Do you know that this used to happen few years back, and why did it stop, and what will you do different?
So what I propose is that related to hostel case study GC is similar to what I stated in my first answer. So basically it will conducted in 4 sections. GC will be conducted in 4 sections where hostel techco will be told to find a problem statement by conducting a survey in the hostel which can be actually solved through tech, and there will be 4 checkpoints through which the problem statement should be solved. Firstly, about the survey regarding the problem statement, where they can get the views from different people. Then second is actual proof of concept regarding the idea. Third one is regarding actual trying to build up the hardware or even the software which they are trying to solve the problem. And the fourth one is actual deployment of the system in the hostel. So this is what I propose from case study GC.
Can you give us some examples of problems, like 3 examples of problems in the hostel, and how these problems can be solved in hostel case study GC?
Okay.
Also, many of the things which you stated have been done in past tenure, either 1 or 2 tenures back. So, just state.
Okay. So the example can be related to automation, like the energy wastage.
Specific examples,
Okay.
what you are going to
As I stated, about the automation, about the IoT in common rooms of the hostel, about the food waste management in the hostel. These are some. These are two examples. Other than that, there can be.
But then how your first point is different because you are proposing there as well food waste and energy waste.
Yeah. So when I talked about these both the points with the sustainability cell, they have stated clearly that these are the things we can. Means they were trying to implement the same thing through GCs in ITC, but the last year the thing was not done. And what they propose is that. This thing should be conducted through if Green Cup, which is the GC proposed by Sustainability Cell, is passed, they will be trying to implement the same idea through GC.
So you have 4 points related to GCs here. So can you tell like what are the current numbers in the GC participation, and how are you going to increase? Because it is not a hidden thing that GC participation is very less in tech. So because no point here actually tackles that. So what are you going to do regarding that?
Okay.
This is the
Give me
last
the numbers. That what is the number? Right
Okay. So regarding to the initial GCs related to SciComm GC and coding GC, the participation was from stating related to H5. In participation, the number was around 45 participants which were participating in this GC. But other than that, related to Science GC, the participation was quite very low. In the recent GCs like Chem Detective GC, the number was very low as compared to the coding GCs which were happened in the first semester.
So this is for H5 you're talking about.
So basically, in general, for most of the hostel, the statistics were similar. Related to coding and related to analytics GC, the number was quite good. But related to the science
These
GC,
are not numbers, quite low and everything.
Okay.
So yeah.
so I stated right the number related to in SciComm there was only around 45 to 50 participants, and in Chem Detective GC there were only one team.
For H5, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about institute.
Okay. So.
Okay, we'll move to the next question now.
So you have mentioned tech. So you have mentioned tech for social good. Are you aware of any activities that have been previously undertaken by ITC or STAB along these lines?
Yes, there was an initiative run 6 years back called Geek Social Responsibility, where it was in collaboration with Avyuday and ITC and Siddhar department, where similar projects were launched related to techno-social problems related to rural India. The problem statement which are actually impacting society were launched during that tenure, and there are many projects which were completed and actually implemented in rural India, and they were awarded at a greater scale.
So apart from this, there are none that you are mentioned. So in the tenure that you were, I think, Shobna Mishra's tenure,
Just a second. I will just also even state that they tried to implement this thing about the techno-social projects in ITSP. So where they had a field trip before the ITSP, during the brainstorming sessions of ITSP, where they visited a rural village in rural India, and there they tried to grasp about the problems and the problem statements in rural India, and upon that the ideations were done. The projects were working upon that during the ITSP phase.
So, in the same tenure as Shobna, there was also sustainability cell that we were working at under Hostel Affairs in collaboration with ITC. So, what is the current status of sustainability cell?
Current status of sustainability. So current status of sustainability cell is is current status as in
There was a sustainability cell under Hostel Affairs in collaboration with ITC, which was targeting similar social projects. What is happening in sustainability cell as of now, and how is ITC involved?
So, regarding current status of sustainability cell, they have been working, trying to implement like different programs through sustainability
Could
cell
you bit exact?
about the relation with ITC, right?
What is sustainability cell doing as of now? Is it even operational or not?
Yeah, it's operational and it's working under hostel affairs currently. But they are not working upon these projects actually, the techno-social projects.
What are they working on?
So currently, in recent, they are currently ideating upon Green Cup, which they want to be conducted in the future tenure.
Okay, so back in 2018, 19 and such years when we had projects along with NSS and Sustainability Cell, what was the major problem there that we could not implement any of the projects that were taken up in that tenure? And how are you what are the major takeaways for you from then to ensure that Tech for Social Good is actually a successful initiative?
Actually, as far as you know, that during that tenure, the deliverables after the problem statement was released were they were not able to maintain the consistency of the projects about the problem statement that were released. So, according to, as far as I know, when the nuclear collaboration with NSS happened, so at that time the deliverables were not defined correctly, and the actual implementation after the problem statement were released were not done. So, what I propose is that this can be done through the various ways, right? When I talked with the professor of Sitara department, and even I have been visiting to some villages through my course project, as a course project. So what I got to know is that there are many problem statements which they have a number of problem statements, but they don't have good participation of UG students to be.
Okay, so as there have been like 2 or 3 initiatives under which you stated that it was a problem of undefined deliverables which led to the unsuccess of that initiative. Could you be very exact and to the point? Can you state what are the deliverables in your case? How are you defining it to the point?
Okay, so according to me, when we will be doing this with Sitara department, what I propose is that Sitara department will be launching the problem statement, the promotion, and about the spreading awareness about this problem statements will be done through ITC, and related to, they have a constraint on about the mentorship. They have a good number of very proficient person in their domain, but they are not able to cater every student through this problem statement. Also, other than that, the deliverables will be that the inventory related to these projects or even the resources related to this project can be provided by ITC, but the mentorship, the high-level mentorship which has to be provided to this project can be provided by the Sitara department. And
so there is no technical involvement of ITC in these projects.
As I said about technical involvement is in terms of resources providing and inventory providement which can be needed during this project. So basically what ITC is trying to do is to promote this, because actually we should not always try to do any project for a resume point, but there should be something which is actually impacting society. So it's a social initiative which an ITC can do.
So along a similar line, the initiatives that have already been previously attempted, you have also mentioned technical facilities in the institute with details on access of required trainings and time slots. Are you aware of any such databases already being created?
Yeah.
No, this is
Okay. So regarding, as you asked about the current status, about this database. So what we proposed in the initial tenure is also that there should be a database. I have stated at least some of the labs.
Do you know of any such database? Does the database exist?
So as far as I know, there is some database already created by tech teams for their own usage about what are labs they can access, about what are the facilities they can access. But there should be a centralized system.
I would like to correct you on that. Not just tech teams. IRCC, Industrial Research Consultancy Center, Dean R&D office, has the website that lists down all the technical facilities and research facilities available in institute, and the portal is operational right now.
Okay.
So there is no need of
So
this.
basically, also there is a need about stating how can we access this labs, right? So if we state about the microfactory lab in the first floor of H7, so there
Again, just commenting and correcting that all of this is already mentioned in that particular portal over there. So we'll move on to the next.
All right, we'll move on to
Also,
the next.
yeah, the microfactory also has a website, and that is under Dean ACR. So
Yeah, so
everything
we'll
exists.
move to the next question now. This is the seventh question of the. This is the eighth question of the soapbox.
So you have mentioned that you would collaborate with the Dean R&D office to foster innovation and provide scaling up and growth opportunities by Tech R&D Expo. So the previous GSEC did attempt to do the same in collaboration with Dean R&D, did he not?
yeah.
And there were already big companies and projects and provide that came to visit our projects. So can you get me the numbers, how many project or student technical project teams were able to get how many contacts, and how many tech teams got actually funded by this, and how are you how are you doing anything different in this?
Yeah. Okay, so what we propose is that in the last year's Tech R&D Expo, we tried to get the involvement of Dean R&D office in the later phase of Tech R&D Expo. So we are not able to get actual, like what I have already talked with Dean R&D currently is that we can try to get involvement of their team quite early and about their contacts, and they have a huge team where they can even contact to many different companies. Like this year we are able to contact companies related to Research Park and many other things. So stating about the things,
Just a factual correction. We did not only contacted through Research Park. We contacted through Dean R&D
Dean
office
R&D.
also this year. So your point, what you are saying, is not true.
Also, sir, moderator, please ask him to answer exact figures.
So the question he asked is about the figures, number of tech teams that got any sponsorship. Please answer to that.
So Team Shunya got a contact with Thermex, where they got material procurement directly, like the resources were provided to them. About racing, the racing was got in contact with Tata. As far as I got the information about from the person who were handling the corporate relations during that team, and also Mahindra were in contact with UMIC directly for the funding. So and also there were Idea Force who directly provided intent to a person who was there for representing for UMIC. So as I stated, Team Shunya, Team UMIC, Racing was in contact with Tata regarding this same and Mahindra.
So this is all through Tech R&D Expo, and how many teams got funded? That was the question.
So as I
It was the
stated,
part of the question. This is not how many teams got contacts. The question is how many teams got funded. Contacts to team have N.
yeah.
I contact N companies, but
So as far as I know,
teams got funded.
UMIC got the thing. As I stated from
Also, UMIC already had industry collaboration there. If you know their car, it carries the Mahindra logo. So
and
they do. What are you doing different? Again,
so basically when I was like contacting
and just what answer I could get out of how many teams got funded is Team Shunya got in kind something. Did they, or did they have to pay for it?
No,
They got.
they got from
That is
Thermex.
one team only.
Yeah.
Okay.
And related to intern what I said for the person of Team UMIC.
Answer the question. What are you doing different?
Okay. So
And how is this a large scale Tech R&D Expo? Was that conducted this year in SOM was not that a large scale event.
Like,
What is your what is the scope of Tech R&D Expo next year?
So what I propose from the statement like large scale Tech R&D Expo is also involving some projects from departments. This year we have some projects from most of the projects from tech team and some individual projects and projects from InstiX. But there is a huge scope. Like when I was talking to some of the PG students, there is a huge scope of involvement of their projects because they are showcased because they are quite enthusiastic about this thing. So the projects made by PG students, projects they are working up by the PG students should also be showcased in Tech R&D Expo. So this is what I mean by the term large scale Tech R&D Expo. And regarding to this was asked, right?
You had also asked what are the changes that you are bringing.
Okay, so in current
The panelist.
So there is 2 PG projects as well last year that was there in the Tech R&D Expo.
But the thing was I wanted to state is like if we compare it with the another.
We're just stating a factual correction that it was not none, it was 2. You can move.
Okay, and what I propose is that when currently when I was talking with Dean R&D sir, so what I got to know that they can facilitate in terms what I state is that they can try to provide support from their team earlier than the proposed thing which was done last year. Like they provided the contacts of the company during the last phase before when the contacting was done quite like we got 2 weeks before the expo. So when in the current meeting, the first meeting which I had with Professor, the Dean R&D office, Dean R&D sir, is that they can held further meetings related to that where they will discuss about.
Don't repeat your point. Just be exact. So
I have even asked about funding. So they already stated that we can talk upon this thing in the further meetings. So basically, we are trying to get funding from Dean R&D for Tech R&D Expo, and I have already talked to them regarding this. So what help actually is given by Dean R&D office is in terms of funding, in terms of resources or team providement, in terms of contacts they are providing.
Has Dean R&D sir agreed to provide funding? You just mentioned it.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like they have already said that this can be discussed in the further meetings. They have not promised any thing like yes, for sure the thing will be funded, because they are already funding other, like according to their calendar, they are funding other projects.
Now we'll move to the next question. This is the last question for this section, manifesto debate.
Sure. So, before even stating my question, I would like to restate that the panelist wants to listen and answer to the point. And when we speak in terms of being specific, we would want you to be specific. My question is on digital notice board. Digital notice board has been in discussion for the last 3-4 years in ITC, and it has already been developed scratch to like end to end by DEFCON and other bodies. So what exactly is your plan to ensure that digital notice board is implemented in your tenure?
Okay, so
right from making the hardware, procuring the hardware, funding, and getting it installed in hostels.
Okay. So regarding this point, so as I already talked with DEFCON, the prototype, they are trying to finalize the prototype. They have already made the prototype. So about the implementation of this idea, I have talked about how to implement this idea. The idea is like when we will take this prototype and mention it.
Sorry to interrupt again. I already stated that the idea is ready end to end. I want to know how will you procure the hardware, funds for that, and how will that be installed in hostel?
Okay. So firstly we'll be taking that. Firstly we'll be proposing to the HA Council for having a meet in the HJC Council where the GSTA will be called for pitching upon this idea. in that meeting, all the G6, the idea about the prototype will be pitched in front of all the G6, and if the idea is agreed upon by all the G6, the thing will be taken to the Dean SA office. The prototype will be taken to the Dean SA office, and if they agree upon this, the thing like they should start implementing this idea, they will be circulating this thing to all the hostels. Then the hostel can buy upon this thing, like according to what we have said by DevCom OC currently, is that he can even pitch for the hardware directly offering to every hostel through a centralized funding, or even if it has to be done through buying system, like every hostel has to buy. So there, if Dean agrees upon and send this letter, so the warden can approve this thing through two funds, basically the amenities fund and even the PNP fund. So if it can be done through amenities, and for PNP they need a letter directly from Dean that this thing has been approved, and the thing can be bought for the hostels.
Okay. So what kind of centralized funding is DevCom promising you?
So what they said is that when they are pitching this prototype to the Dean, they can try to get a funding where they will be providing the hardware, only the hardware which is required for the digital notice board, directly to the hostels. Means they will not tell the hostel to purchase the hardware, basically directly will be provided to every hostel. So there are two ways which I already stated. So one,
From where will they get that centralized fund? Does DevCom have money to fund 50-60 LEDs along all the
what I
hostels?
said is regarding the hardware, not the digital screen which has to be made. The hardware is different from the screen which has to be put upon.
The hardware includes the screen along with the RPI that he'll install,
Okay,
right?
so correctly stating, the hardware is the one thing which DevCom has already proposed, that the cost of this hardware is around 3K and 3,000.
Again, a factual correction, it has been increased to around 5K.
It has been clearly stated by
You may check that, so yeah.
by DevCom OC that the cost is around 3,000 or around that, and this can be given to the hostel, where the hostel has to take upon their own like LED screens to put upon this hardware and run the system.
So, hoping that Dean SA does give you a letter, hoping that you get the funding, who will be the one monitoring the hardware and managing that entire work? Because can you state the exact number of hostels in which you plan to implement this?
Okay. So related to maintenance, there is a system called AMC, Annual Maintenance Contract, which is been approved through PNP fund. So they got amount, every hostel gets an amount of 2 lakh rupees for doing the maintenance about the thing. So annual contracts can be given to the vendors who will be just keeping checks on about the hardware they are implementing in the hostel, and this is being the same annual maintenance contract is used for other equipments, luxurious equipments which are used in hostel.
So my question when it comes to maintenance is, because this is a technology which we have developed and it's not an outside technology which anybody can work around or debug, who will be the in charge of maintenance of these hardwares, and in how many hostels, how many setups are you installing?
In my initial phase, I am only proposing that one single digital notice board has to be implemented in every hostel, like the normal
Number
notice
of
board.
hostels?
In hostel 15, hostel 16, hostel 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, already talked to 18, 17, and already stated the same thing in 12, 13, 14, G6. I have already pitched the same idea to this G6 and even the hostel 11. I have already stated this idea to the G6 of this hostel.
Okay. So we'll talk about the maintenance part.
This is the last answer.
So regarding the maintenance part, like if the hardware, my proposed idea was through this thing, like, as I stated about AMC, it can also be checked upon by Dev. Okay, it can be checked upon by DevCom about if any report about like the system is not working. If any report like this comes, it can be checked upon once by the DevCom people.
So one thing is that DEFCON people do not deal really with hardware, so they are not that they won't be able to go from hostel to debug that. And the second is like AMCs won't, because AMCs won't like cover your Raspberry Pi and the entire hardware, so you can't really go for that under AMC. So you really have to like ponder about who will be the maintainer of these systems. Otherwise, as these are homemade technologies, these are prone to failures, as we have not really grilled the entire hardware through industrial checks.
Yeah, so now we'll move to the next section, which is the topic debate. This section, we have already given 4 topics to the candidate, and now I'll be picking up 2 among those, and we'll be asking those debate with the panelists. So yeah. So the first topic is topic 3. I'll state the topic here, and then I'll state the questions that I'll first ask the candidate to put forward their view, and then the panelist can speak on the viewpoint of the candidate, and then there will be 3 questions that candidate needs to inform about in the debate. So the topic is, after COVID, various tech clubs and event tech teams have yet to revive their total capacity. They need to catch up in conducting activities in diverse fields. In short, the number of events has decreased quite a bit, and the overall quality still needs to be on par with the emerging technology. Earlier, lots of small scale activities used to be there to provide a start in multiple domains. Tech teams have stopped publishing research papers and conducting workshops. So what are your views on this? You will have 2 to 3 minutes to say upon this.
Hello. Okay, so regarding the small scale activities firstly, so the small scale activities which according to me, which are not being continued before, the things which were done before pre-COVID and not been continued are like the science fairs or the small scale activities even in the common rooms of hostels or the panel discussions, GDs, or even the thing like what TL used to do is how things were, the thing which was being done bi-weekly weekends where the different things were taught to the students. So the things like these are not being continued. What I think is the major reason for what I think is about the communication gap between the batches before COVID and post COVID. So now what we propose is that there should be an alum interaction with the alums or the ITC seniors who have been going through this phase, and they are well known about the events, the hobby activities which the clubs were doing. Also, we have gone through one full year of offline tenure, and now the things are now getting back to normalcy. Also, according to my timeline, I have not made the timeline so jam-packed that there will be no time for the clubs to conduct these activities. Regarding what you said about the things like research papers are not being further published by any tech team. So regarding that, I've already mentioned a manifesto point in my manifesto regarding organizing closed community sessions and group discussions for tech teams. So basically, what this thing will be providing regarding sessions on IP patenting, or even how research papers are being published, right? So similar event was conducted this year also, and I tried to implement this more in the further tenure by the help of DSSC. Like last year we had the sessions held by DSSC. We'll try to implement this idea by taking the help of DSSC for industrial mentors, or even like what. Okay, so also the last thing which was stated about the technical startup building out of project. So this can be done through the technovation part which I've already stated with the help of DSCC. Thank you.
So now the panelists can state their viewpoint on this, and then they can ask 3 specific questions on the topic.
So, Shilpi has stated that there has been a lack of alum interaction which has resulted into this. So entire point of having groundwork before the managers or secretaries are nominated is having alumni interaction with alumni 2-3 years down the line. And by alumni here, I mean legit 2 to 3 years down the line. I don't mean much. And from what I know, for most of the clubs, there is some alum connection for 2 to 3 years down the line. So I don't see any concrete plan ready with you to actually make some difference from what has been done in this tenure. Yeah.
Also, so you have, adding on to what Shubham just said, in your manifesto for energy secretary or manager, you have mentioned that you would conduct alumni talks. Could you also elaborate that? Did you conduct them, and in our knowledge you have not in your tenure?
So regarding hello. So regarding the alumni meets, what we done actually is implementing closed sessions for the current council of Energy Club with the past managers and past down the line till the batch of 2 to 3 years back. I cannot state the limit. So 2 to 3 years back, the Energy Club managers, we had a session where we interacted about the ideas about their view on Energy Club, about our view on Energy Club, what advancement has been done, what according to them should have been done, and what the session has been conducted in close community, a meeting or a friendly meet with the alums.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Hello.
Should the panelists ask questions?
Yeah, we have 1 minute left on this topic debate.
Sure. So, I want to know your concrete idea, because alumni interaction, in my opinion, is not the only thing which can be of difference. Because I, as a part of, I being a senior member of ITC, I have been interacting with the current managers, but I have not seen any such thing getting implemented. I have been in contact on monthly basis. So, on top of that, as of now, we are here. 1 year down the line, most of the seniors members will be graduated, so it's even more difficult for you to get in touch. So what different are you going to do with your managers and secretary?
Okay, so what I propose is that in the initial phase of the tenure, the managers and the conveners basically should be trained regarding the diverse field they can cater about the various past activities their club legacy has been doing. At least they should be told regarding what the point actually state is that before COVID the things which were actually happening are not taking place right now. So what
I want to know is, what as GSTA would be your job to make sure that these things get back to normal?
Okay, so according to me, there should be more hobby events which the club does, or more frequent events on small scale, like the science fairs which the MNP club used to.
Again, my question is, what as GSTA will be your job to, what action will you take as GSTA to ensure that these things happen? I know that there should be more hobby things happening, but what will you do to ensure that it happens?
As I said, in the initial phase when we are deciding about the timeline for the whole year with clubs, so in that meets only we should all confirming related to activities related to this, right?
Okay, we'll move to the next topic debate. So we'll be choosing topic 4. Yeah. So the topic is, it has been observed that people in tech have been in decline, which is shown by the struggles newer tech teams have to go through while recruitment decent talent and developing their project concept. So what are your viewpoints on this? And you have 2 to 3 minutes to state that. Yeah.
Okay, so according to
you have to this is a topic debate, so you have to show that whether you agree with this or don't, and then you have to state your viewpoint.
Okay, so I do agree with this point that the newer tech teams have problem while recruiting the decent talent and developing their project concept. So what I propose is that, which I even mentioned in my manifesto regarding when the recruitment process is being done, the recruitment process, before the recruitment process, the very first thing which the tech team conduct is the common orientation for the students, for the freshers who are who will be enrolling for the tech teams, right? So during that time, as I proposed that there should be mini expo things like if we are conducting the orientation in LTPCSA, we can have a mini expo of what the actual tech team, what the thing is being done by them in this. Placed in Somewell, even they will be getting upon the hands-on thing which actually the tech team is doing, and it can quite in good manner try to get attention from the tech team. Also, what I think is that like in the COVID era, we were mostly involved in talks and sessions. So after reviving back to the normal period, we should be more focused upon the hands-on activity. Also, regarding the other questions which have been mentioned here, that like the newer tech team should be made aware about the STPC guidelines and reports, the perfect methodology about how to file these things, and all the means related to proposals, related to advancements or recruitment process, right?
Yes, sir, you are right. So, you have said, so
Now the panelists can state their viewpoint on
yeah,
this.
we will share our viewpoint. So you are saying that you want to do mini expo. How as GSTA? Yeah. So why would GSTA do organize mini expo? Because that is the prerogative of the tech team. Whatever the tech team does in the tech expo, the tech team will do. And also.
So I'll share my views. So when you state that you'll organize mini expo for freshers, the point is that the entire question was made around more Sophies and 30s who are technically more expertise in tech, because freshies as well, as if when they enter they have a lot of enthusiasm and they as if participate in Accelerate and other activities and numbers. So I don't think mini expo is actually serving the purpose of increasing people in tech. Then next on you went on to specify hands-on activity. If you appreciate this, not having people in tech is kind of a viscous cycle. So basically when you have a decline in the number of people who are in tech, you have lesser number of mentorship, lesser number of hands-on people to conduct hands-on activity. So basically overall, as of now, there are no people to do that. So how do you even make sure that you are doing hands-on activity? That was my thinking. Then next you stated that newer tech team are, you'll help newer tech team with STPC process, recruitment, blah, blah. So do you think really these are the issues that tech teams are facing? In terms of like technical guidance, they don't have enough technical guidance. Even if they know what to do, they don't have enough people whom they can recruit and ensure that whatever needs to be done is done. So for example, just TeamSlide had a recruitment mail recently. The number of entries that they got is just 29 without assignments. And when it comes to assignment, the number boils down to just 6 and 7. And with that 6 and 7 also, we don't know the expertise of the people that we have. So the real problem is not STPC. The real problem is the pool of people which we can pick from. The technical expertise have gone down. So yeah, that was my view.
So the panelists can ask some questions if there are related to this.
So what are you planning to take? What measures are you planning to take to ensure guidance to newer or even established tech teams who need help making project proposals and advances in their projects or recruitment, or to, as established in the comments by Shubham, that the skilled pool of tech in institute has shrunk or is limited. So how would you grow that?
Okay.
You have 1 minute to answer this.
So, firstly, regarding what has been stated related to advances and about the health. So, there are many newly formed tech teams who are still there to file their first submissions, STBC reports. So, they may need like proper guidance from their FACAD, or they may need even small scale funding just before proposing their actual idea to the STBC. So this thing can be like the money, a small chunk of money can be proposed by ITC to the newly formed tech team. Though the budget is constrained, we can provide a small amount of budget to the tech team for organizing their things which they are currently working upon, because just because they don't have the actual funding for STBC.
I'm sorry, so
and
does what we are talking about is new tech teams who had filed STPC reports. There are tech teams that are already shut down and did not file who have filed STPC proposals for the past 2 years but did not file one this year. And you are saying that you will provide funds. Why would someone need funds to make a proposal?
To add to Gagan's question, I don't think, as I mentioned, the problem is technical people and technical guidance. It's never the funding. Even before you get fund, you have a lot of work to do to actually establish your technology. It's only then you can make a prototype.
Yes, so what I would like to say upon this is that the thing related to the awareness related to tech teams is quite low even in PGs, which have the technical expertise of these domains, and the things are not actually reaching them till them about all the process, all the recruitments which can be done in tech
PGs
teams.
already do a lot of tech in their master's project and they can stay for 2 years. It has been very evidently observed that UGs through their stay, because they have a longer stay, they will do better in tech teams. So the question is not STPC proposal filing. FACADs usually would not know how to file STPC proposals, how to file STPC proposals or do advances or recruitment. The question is people in tech. How would you, as the GSTA, grow the amount of people in tech, grow the talent pool itself, so that I or a tech team does not have to compete with another tech team during recruitment?
So this is the final question and you need to answer it in 1 minute.
Okay. So my viewpoint upon this is that from when a person comes to the institute, a fresher who is being
Could you be the entire 3 questions went on emphasizing the point, we want to know how will you increase the people in tech. So be specific to that point. How will you increase the people in tech? And yeah.
The number, the fraction of the batch, whatever, how will you increase it?
Okay, so regarding what I am proposing is that when a fresher comes to the institute and the recruitment process, mainly the recruitment process about the second year, so during that phase, in the initial first year, they should be trained in terms of through the clubs, the ITC clubs which we have. Though they are of varied domains, and through them actually not only hobby tech but also some good activity related to the technical
Sorry,
domains.
sir, moderator.
Now I'll stop the answer. The panel can share their final viewpoint and we'll move on.
Yeah, so my viewpoint is that I never got an answer to the question, because as I very clearly stated, there is a lack of pool among the tech clubs also. So how are you gonna increase that? People in tech was never answered, according to me. Yeah.
We will talk about this later.
All right. So now we'll move to the next part, which is the background check. So here I'll ask 2 questions, and you will have 2 minutes to answer the question, and then I can finally share the viewpoint on that. So my first question is regarding to your energy club tenure, where you were a manager of ITC as well as you were energy secretary. So in that, we have received feedbacks from various people that whenever in the initial phase the meetings were going on for initiative called International Energy Symposium, you were not regularly available in that meet. And this is the first point. And the second is you were not involved in ideation of any of your club activities or any of the ITC activities apart from just Energy Geeks, in which you were involved in the ideation a bit. Apart from that, you have written an Energy GC in your manifesto, which was scheduled, and then you declined to conduct that. And thus your only 6 out of the 16 point in your manifesto has been completed. So this is the background that I got from various people. And then I'd like to ask, since you have not been involved in an ideation, how will you ensure as a GS you will make your council ideate towards the events that you are or the initiatives that you are going to propose, and will also ensure regular attendance in the meet?
Okay, so firstly regarding to International Energy Symposium. So International Energy Symposium is
no, answer to my question. Don't answer to what I have stated on your background. Answer to the question that I asked.
So regarding the ideation which you are stating that how will you ensure that your team is actually ideal? So what I think is that the core ITC meetings about any event which is being planned, there should be a regular attendance of the GS, the cabinet, and all the members who are going to work upon this event. And upon that, what I state is that every person, even a GS, can be
Don't
assigned.
state what should be done. Just state what will you do.
Okay. So what I will be doing is that ensuring that every manager is given a portion of event upon ideation, not just upon execution of the idea. And every manager will be assigned some work related to ideation of the event in the initial phase. There are quite few number of what we sometimes distribute is that some persons are involved in the ideation phase, some persons are involved actual implementation or execution of the idea. So what we should do is that even starting from the cabinet, the GS, or even the managers should be involved in the ideation of each, at least small section of the event. It should not be relied upon only some restricted managers upon the ideation, but rather the whole team.
All right. So I'll share my viewpoint on this. So as I again stated that yes, the ideation should be done by everyone. But since you have already shown lack of ideation in within your past tenure and also within your manifesto, as we saw in the manifesto debate that there was a lack of ideation in all the events, and you have only catered the need but not the how you will implement those in your tenure. So again, I would just like to state that ideation is something that you need to do beforehand when you try to impose it on your manager. So that is the first background check question. Now we'll move to the second one. So this is about one initiative that has been assigned to you. The initiative was Tech Mentor, and this has also been mentioned in your manifesto right now. So in this, I got to know that in this initiative, this was assigned to you 5 months before, and now it's been 5 months since you have assigned this initiative, and you have not still figured out the finalized list of mentors you will be allocating. You have not created the mapping, and even the booklet that you have created, you have mentioned 8 clubs, and you have in that written 7 name of the clubs only, leaving the name of Energy Club itself, for which you were the secretary. So if you do this kind of doc review, even if you have not written some someone else have written and you are reviewing it and you are not seeing this, how will you first of all ensure that you are sending correct mails to the student notices, and apart from that, how will you ensure that why has this initiative not been completed in the 5 months? And I am still emphasizing why the mentor has not been finalized and the doc has not been reviewed correctly by you. So these are the two questions that I want to ask.
Okay, so what I will like to counter upon this is that actually the ideation of this event started quite late when actual freshers were.
So you were assigned the initiative before, and why didn't you started it before?
When I was assigned this initiative.
You were assigned this initiative at the start of the tenure.
So the initiative was assigned to me and actually stated to start the working upon this just 1 month before the freshers were coming to institute. During that time, when I done this thing, like what I was told regarding ensuring that every club was told to assign 10 people from their background, according to them, who can be a possible tech mentor. So I have been doing that thing, and I have sending repetitive messages even on personal and even on core ITC groups for ensuring that every club should file upon this. And I was like, it was not I tried my best that this should be done at the earliest, but many of the clubs refused to delayed to do this thing, and even according to me, there are even many clubs who will
Just state that 5 months is required to finalize the this mentors list, or it should be less.
So the mentor list was finalized from the list we got from the clubs and from the tech teams, but the only problem was actual allocation which has to be made, because
And that has to be made by you, and you have not made that.
So
So,
basically
now, since
we
the
wanted
time is up, I'll finally share my viewpoint. You said that clubs were refusing and not filling up the form. So, as a manager, if you could not ask your colleagues to fill up the form, how will, as a GSTA, you will ensure that you can, the juniors or the managers who come under you will fill that, because you can't even convince your batchmate to do this, which are your friends, in fact. So that is what I am trying to emphasize, that in the manifesto you have written follow up on tech mentors, but how will you ensure that again the same problem is not will not occur, is not visible by your manifesto point? And even what I know, you have not done proper groundwork with respect to that with the cabinet members who were involved. So now we'll move to the next part, which is part 5 Q&A session, and I would like to call inside people to ask 4 questions on the candidates, and that question can go till 5 minutes max.
Yeah. So the first question is about the competition-based GCs that you're planning based on non-core inter-IT domains. You've mentioned 3 examples here: product management, supply chain, and tech entrepreneurship. Now, there was a TechCom meeting held, I'm sure you know what TechCom is. There was a TechCom meeting held on 14th January this year, where they planned an ITC GC based on non-core domains. Uncharted domains was the basic title. I can list down the... Can you list what the GCs discussed in that meeting were? If not, I can list them now.
Okay. So, as far as I know, in the TechCom meeting, it was stated that there should be a ITC GC, which is not fall under any club, but basically it will be related to non-core domain, and the problem statement was like, should I state the problem statement?
As long as the moderator doesn't have any problem.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so uh, so
You can just list the domains, that's all.
If you don't, if you are not answering, we can move ahead to.
Right, so there are 6 domains listed here: carbon capture, sustainability, healthcare, and the last 3 are supply chain, project management, and tech entrepreneurship. Now, in the same TechCom meeting, it was decided that GCs based on these will be scheduled in March after the elections. So, my question to you is this: if all of these GCs were planned this year and are going to be executed this tenure, how in your manifesto have you stated that you will be adding these GCs to the technical GCs already existing?
actually, I like according to the timeline. Now, in the month of March, there are 2 clubs who will be conducting their GCs, which is one is ERC and one is Energy. So, according to the constraint,
There is a factual correction. Energy Club has declined to do the GC. This has been checked with the GC lead who were assigned this year.
so like the thing is like the clubs like ERC have their GCs remaining, and that will be conducted in the month of March. And during this constraint timeline, we cannot conduct other GCs like the product management or the supply chain GCs because the tenure will be ending soon, and it's a high prep GC which has been proposed by ERC. So that's why we what I thought is that this GCs should be conducted next year in the fresh tenure.
All right,
Moving
so
to next question.
It's a related question.
Okay, yeah.
So genre cups. So related to GCs, you wanted to have genre cups. Can you just list down how many GCs happened this year from a tech council side?
Okay. Yes.
Just give us a number. We don't need the names.
The number, right?
Yeah.
Six GCs which happened this year. So there were analytics and okay. So there were 6 GCs which were conducted in this tenure.
can the moderator of the panel verify that? 6 GCs? Just can you name them just for clarity?
Are you talking till now, or are you also including the one which are going to be done?
Okay, so
We are fine if he includes all of them planned in this tenure. Just can you name all of them?
should I,
Yeah, name all of them quickly.
okay. The SciComm GC, what is it? The Analytics GC, the Chem Detective GC, the Aero Modeling Hardware GC, just a second. And even two more GCs like.
The ones he stated is correct. He has not stated some other GC. So, is there any further question?
Yeah, we do have further questions based on this. So, can you now elaborate on what exactly you will be doing in this point of genre cups?
Okay.
Yeah, and you have only 40 seconds to answer this.
Okay. So,
Okay, so let me just ask all of the other
Yeah.
questions that I have. So, from what I understand, genre cups will involve, you'll basically have multiple GCs, you'll club them under one genre, and the hostel that wins gets the genre cup based on like if they get the most points for that GC. Right. Now, how many genres, which of these GCs will you place in which genre, and do you think you really have so many GCs that you can have? You've listed 3 genres over here. Do you really think you have multiple GCs under each of those 3 genres?
okay, so basically what we propose is that So related to Psychom GC and the Analytics GC, which can be clubbed under the domain of Coding GC. Okay. Other than that, the Chemistry GC, the Chem Detective GC, which took place, can be categorized in a different domain of Science GC. Like
Okay, that's one. What are the other ones in Science GC?
even what this year happened is like we clubbed 2 to 3 clubs and then we had one GC. So what I propose is that next year this thing should not happen. Even if a BioX club conducts a GC which can be clubbed under BioX club, it conducts a GC related to pure sciences, that can become clubbed under the science genre. And even MNP, if they are conducting some logic GC or something, which can be conducted under a science genre. But related to hardware, if a GC is conducted by Energy Club related to, say, let's suppose solar DIY, so that will be conducted, categorized under the hardware domain. So as I stated, for each genre I have already stated.
We'll move to the next question now. Time is already up.
Right. And
Yeah,
the next question is
you
about
can give a final comment if you want. Like,
Okay, well, I think a lot of questions still stand. Firstly, I think there was a conscious decision taken this tenure to club GCs, to club like multiple clubs and have them all conduct a single GC. You could have emphasized upon why you're reversing that decision and going back to each club conducting an individual GC, which then you're now placing under different genres.
Okay, so according to
no, it's not a question. It's just a comment. So yeah, we'll move to the next question now.
The next question is about the newsletter. Can you first elaborate? So you've mentioned that this will involve research that is, it'll involve technical activities beyond research organized by various tech teams and clubs. Firstly, what is the sort of research activities that tech teams and especially clubs do, and what content beyond that are you planning to include in this newsletter?
So basically, according to me, that the activities which are conducted by clubs and tech teams, these things can be for sure be placed in the newsletter. But other than that, there are many research activities done by the students of IIT Bombay in IIT Bombay. So these things should be stated to them. Like what I propose is that there are many different already coming magazines or letters which has this activities, but what I propose is that there should be an ITC newsletter which should include all the 3 domains, like the clubs, the tech team activities, and
Can
even
you get to the point, please? Can I request him to get to the point, please?
Yeah.
So as I stated that I wanted the research activities of IIT Bombay to be even mentioned in the
Okay. So I think that's enough context that we need. Firstly, how are you exactly planning to release this newsletter? Is it going to be printed or online?
what I propose is an online copy of the newsletter to be provided to the student.
How will you get the information for all these topics? You said that you'd cover a lot of research activities beyond what tech teams and clubs do. How are you going to get information about them? How many articles like these are you planning to include? How long will your newsletter completely be? What is the timeline? Who in core ITC will be doing this, and how many people do you think it will need?
Okay, so this initiative can be done by involving the PG nominee and the PG conveners we have in our.
How many will there be?
So
the number?
currently we have 4 PG conveners and 1 PG nominee.
So a team of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And other than that, regarding the timeline, what I propose is that the thing like the PG newsletter should be posted just before the PG Tech Weekend, which we held every year.
When is that held, and when is the work on the newsletter going to start?
Okay, so the PG Tech Weekend is usually held in the month of September, and what we propose is that the work on this should start much before that. Like the council will be elected by the end of the PG conveners. The PG nominee will be elected by April, and from after that there can be a section of work where they will be emphasizing upon the PG newsletter part. The section of PG newsletter.
How many months? How many months will the team be working on? A team of 5. How long?
Okay. Hello. So what I propose is that we can give them upon 2 months for gathering all the research articles which students wants to post upon in the newsletter. Like there are many students who want to give up their
Okay, I got it. So 2 months.
research-oriented things.
2 months.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do you want to ask something?
You said the PG norm and the PG conveners will be doing this. Currently, what is their role and why are they responsible for posting something that is about research in the entire institute? Why is this coming under their domain specifically?
Yeah. So basically, what I stated is about the PG-centric newsletter, right? So the PG nominee is the one who is trying to cater to the PG community of IIT Bombay in the terms of technical needs, like about.
Yeah, okay, I got your point, but what you mentioned about the content was it was general research done in the institute by students. How is it PG-centric if it's all the research that's done in the institute?
Like what I propose is that the research things, like the research articles or even the things should be gathered by the PG nominee, just because.
Because it's going to be a PG-centric newsletter.
No, this is the one thing, but the other thing, as I stated, is that we can try for the PG research, which is mainly done by the PG community of IIT Bombay.
Well, I think for my final comments, I can just say that Insight has been working on a research newsletter, which is meant to cover all of the technical activities happening in the institute from, I think maybe quite similar in terms of what you're planning, in terms of covering the research that's happening by students or by professors. I think the Insight team has been trained in general to print newsletters. That is really part of our job. And we've also been trained, I think the way you'd collect information about this is through interviews. Interviews are, you'd probably talk to the students and the professors, right? Or am I making a wrong assumption here? Right, so you talk to the students, and I can include this in my final comments. Right? Right. So you're going to talk to students and professors about this. You're going to interview them. Insight's been working on this. I have personally been leading this initiative at Insight. It's taken a team of 4 of us, people who are, I think, pretty highly trained to do this. And we've been working for almost this entire semester, and the ideation for this started in November. You plan to do this in a period of 2 months, and I really don't see how that's feasible given the kind of time it's taken us.
Okay, so
and the talent of the people who are doing it, quite frankly.
okay, so just stating, don't comment on person wise, but yeah, we can move to the next question.
Okay, so about the inter-IIT boot camps that you're planning, you said that you would plan them in September and October.
Yeah.
Am I right? Right. Firstly, I think they conflict with the timeline for the Tech and R&D Expo, because at least this year that was held in a similar timeline. If you're planning to change that, you can let me know. If not, they anyway clash with mid-semesters which are held in September, and 2 weeks are going to go over there. So have you accounted for all of that?
Yeah. So basically, as I already stated in my first question, that the PG, like what I said about the inter-IIT competitions in the month of September and October. So according to this year's timeline, the midsems were held from 14th to 20th, and after that, what I actually said is that some managers were involved in Tech R&D Expo, and Tech R&D Expo was held on 15th and 16th of October. So as I clearly stated that next year the CL selections will be done quite early, and they will be working upon finding the people who will be taking up the lead for the they will be conducting the session for the boot camp, and on the similar lines the problem statement will be released, and they will be looking up about this.
Right. I think we're done.
So now the last question for the Insight round before.
No, we're done.
You are done. Okay.
One person who can bring about this change. I need you, your valuable suggestions and your support. We together can revolutionize the Institute Tech culture in the upcoming tenure, and try to implement every idea which we have about through different mindset people for the betterment of the institute. Thank you.
Thank you all for attending the show.